What if the universe's no wasn't rejection at all? What if it was redirection? What if the universe wasn't saying you can't have this, but rather, I have something better for you? You've poured your heart into something. You wanted it so badly. You visualized it. You worked for it. You believed it was yours. And then the door slammed shut. The answer was no. The opportunity disappeared. The relationship ended. The job went to someone else. It hurts. It's frustrating. It feels like failure. Like the universe is working against you. Like you're not good enough. Like nothing ever works out. Today we're going deep into one of the most misunderstood aspects of spiritual growth. The universe's no. How to recognize it, how to trust it, and most importantly, how to see it for what it really is. Not punishment, but guidance. Not failure, but redirection. Not the end of your path, but the beginning of the right one. If you've ever felt like the universe is constantly throwing roadblocks in your way, this video will change how you see everything. Because those roadblocks, they might be the greatest gift you'll ever receive. Let's talk about closure, but not the kind you're used to. Not the closure that comes from getting what you want. I'm talking about the closure that comes from not getting it. The unexpected gift of the door that closes. We've all been there. You apply for a job you're perfect for. You don't get it. You meet someone who feels like the one. They leave. You start a business you're passionate about. It fails. You pursue an opportunity that seems like destiny. It falls through. And in that moment, it feels like the universe is saying no to you. Like you're being rejected. Like you're not worthy. Like you did something wrong. But here's what I want you to consider. What if that no wasn't rejection at all? What if it was redirection? What if every closed door, every setback, every disappointment was actually the universe's way of protecting you, guiding you, redirecting you towards something you couldn't see yet? But here's the shift I want you to make. What if the universe wasn't rejecting you? What if it was protecting you? Think about it. How many times in your life have you looked back on something that didn't work out and thought, thank God that didn't happen? How many times have you realized, months or years later, that the thing you wanted so desperately would have been a disaster? That job you didn't get? The company went bankrupt 6 months later. That relationship that ended? You met someone far more aligned with you. That business that failed? It taught you everything you needed to know for the next one. The universe sees what you can't. It sees the full picture, the timeline, the consequences, the ripple effects. And sometimes it closes a door not because you're not good enough, but because what's behind that door isn't good enough for you. But here's the problem. We don't see it that way in the moment. In the moment, all we feel is the pain, the rejection, the disappointment, the sense of failure. And so we fight. We force. We try to pry that door back open. We convince ourselves that if we just try harder, believe more, push more, we can make it work. But forcing open a door the universe is trying to close, that's not alignment. That's resistance. And resistance always leads to struggle. The gift of closure, the unexpected gift, is this. Every door that closes frees up your energy, your time, your attention, your life force, so that when the right door opens, you're ready. You're available. You're not still clinging to what wasn't meant for you. So how does the universe actually communicate its no? Because it's not always obvious, is it? It's not like a voice from the sky says, "Stop, turn around. This isn't for you." No. The universe speaks in whispers, in subtle signs, in patterns you have to learn to recognize. Let me give you some examples. The first sign is persistent obstacles, not challenges, obstacles. There's a difference. Challenges are part of growth. They're meant to strengthen you. But obstacles? Obstacles are walls. Barriers that keep showing up, no matter how hard you try. You keep applying for the same type of job and never hear back. You keep trying to make a relationship work, and it keeps falling apart. You keep pursuing an opportunity, and every step forward is met with 2 steps back. That's not the universe testing you. That's the universe redirecting you. The second sign is a lack of flow. You know that feeling when something is right, when it just flows, when doors open easily, when people show up at the right time, when resources align, when things click into place. While the universe's no feels like the opposite. It feels heavy, forced, like you're pushing a boulder uphill, like nothing is coming together, no matter how hard you work. That lack of flow, that's the universe whispering, "Not this way." The third sign is repeated delays. You're trying to move forward and everything gets delayed. The meeting gets postponed. The contract falls through. The timeline shifts. Again and again and again. Most people see delays as frustrations. But what if delays are protection? What if the universe is buying you time, waiting for something better to align, keeping you from jumping into something that isn't ready for you yet, or that you're not ready for? The fourth sign is a sudden loss of interest. You were so passionate about something, and then nothing. The fire went out. You can't explain why, but you just don't care anymore. That's not lack of discipline. That's your soul recognizing that this path is no longer aligned. That's the universe withdrawing its energy from something that's not meant for you. And the fifth sign, the most powerful one, is the inexplicable feeling that something just isn't right. Even when it looks perfect on paper, even when everyone tells you it's a great opportunity, even when logically it makes sense. But inside, something feels off. Something doesn't sit right. You can't explain it, but you know. That's your intuition. That's the universe speaking through you. And when you ignore that feeling, when you override it with logic, that's when you end up somewhere you were never meant to be. So here's the real question. Are you listening? Are you paying attention to these signs? Or are you so focused on what you want that you're ignoring what the universe is trying to tell you? Now let's talk about the magic, the alchemy, the part where everything shifts. This is where rejection becomes redirection, where the no transforms into a yes you couldn't have imagined. Because here's the truth. Every no frees up space, energy, time, attention, resources. And when that space is freed up, something better can enter. But you have to let go first. You have to stop clinging to what isn't yours. You have to stop forcing doors that are meant to stay closed. You have to trust that the universe knows what it's doing. Let me share some real examples. Stories of people who received the universe's no and, at first, felt devastated, but later realized it was the greatest gift they could have received. A woman applied for a job at a company she dreamed of working for. She made it to the final round, and then she didn't get it. She was crushed. She felt rejected, like she wasn't good enough. 3 months later, she got an offer from a different company. Better pay, better role, better culture. A company she hadn't even considered before. And she later found out that the first company had massive layoffs just 6 months after she would have started. The universe said no to protect her, to redirect her to something better. Another story. A man was in a relationship he thought was forever. He was ready to propose, and then she ended it. Out of nowhere. He was heartbroken. He couldn't understand why. A year later, he met someone else. Someone who shared his values, his vision, his energy. Someone who felt like home. And he realized if that first relationship had worked out, he never would have been available for this one. The universe said no to make space for a yes he didn't even know existed. One more. A couple invested everything into a business. They worked day and night, poured their savings into it, and it failed completely. They lost everything, and they felt like failures. But that failure taught them what worked and what didn't. It taught them resilience. It taught them humility. And it gave them the wisdom they needed to build their next business, which succeeded beyond anything they'd imagined. The universe said no to the first business because it wasn't ready. They weren't ready. But that no was the foundation for a yes that changed their lives. This is the power of rejection as redirection. When you stop seeing closed doors as failure and start seeing them as guidance, everything changes. You stop taking rejection personally. You stop feeling like a victim. You stop believing the universe is against you. Instead, you start trusting. You start paying attention. You start asking, what is this redirecting me toward? Instead of, why is this happening to me? And that shift in perspective, that's when the magic happens. That's when you stop resisting and start flowing. That's when you stop forcing and start allowing. So how do you actually hear these messages? How do you tune into the universe's subtle whispers? How do you know when a no is guidance and not just a challenge to push through? It starts with cultivating receptive awareness. And that's not as complicated as it sounds. It just means learning to listen, to feel, to trust what you're sensing beneath the surface. Here are some practices that will help you develop this skill. First, create space for stillness. You can't hear whispers in a noisy room, and most of us live in constant noise. External noise and internal noise, the chaos of daily life, the endless stream of thoughts. You need silence, even just 5 minutes a day. Sit, breathe, let your mind settle, let the noise fade, and in that silence, listen, not with your ears, with your soul. Second, journal your experiences. Write down what you're noticing, the obstacles, the delays, the feelings, the patterns. Because when you see it on paper, the message becomes clearer. Ask yourself, What is this situation trying to show me? What is the universe communicating? What am I resisting? Write without filtering. Let the truth come through. Third, meditate on your choices. Before making a decision, sit with it. Close your eyes. Bring the option into your awareness and notice how your body responds. Does it feel light, open, expansive? That's a yes. Does it feel heavy, tight, contracted? That's a no. Your body knows before your mind does. Trust it. Fourth, pay attention to your energy. Notice what drains you and what fills you, what feels like effort and what feels like flow. Because alignment always feels lighter. Resistance always feels heavier. If something consistently drains you, even if it seems like a great opportunity, that's a sign. The universe is saying, this isn't for you. And fifth, trust your gut. That inexplicable feeling, that inner knowing. Even when it doesn't make logical sense, even when everyone around you disagrees, your intuition is the universe speaking through you. And the more you honor it, the stronger it gets, the clearer the messages become. This isn't about giving up when things get hard. It's about discerning between a challenge that's meant to strengthen you and a wall that's meant to redirect you. And that discernment? It comes from being still enough to listen, present enough to feel, and brave enough to trust. So what happens when you start living this way? When you embrace the universe's no instead of fighting it? When you trust the guidance of rejection, everything changes. You stop wasting energy on things that aren't meant for you. You stop forcing. You stop struggling. You stop feeling like you have to control every outcome. Instead, you start flowing. You start trusting. You start aligning with something bigger than your limited perspective. And here's what that looks like in practice. You cultivate resilience because rejection no longer breaks you. It informs you. It guides you. You understand that a closed door isn't personal. It's protective. You develop wisdom because every no teaches you something about yourself, about what you truly want, about what's aligned and what isn't. You build trust, not just in the universe, but in yourself, in your intuition, in your ability to navigate uncertainty, in your worthiness of something better. And most importantly, you discover peace because you're no longer at war with reality. You're no longer resisting what is. You're no longer demanding that life look a certain way. You're allowing. You're surrendering. You're partnering with the flow of life instead of fighting against it. This doesn't mean you stop having dreams. This doesn't mean you stop taking action. This doesn't mean you become passive. It means you refine your dreams to align with a higher purpose. It means your actions come from inspiration, not desperation. It means you become active in co-creation, not control. And the result? A life that feels easier, lighter, more magical. Because you're no longer trying to force your way through closed doors. You're paying attention to which doors are opening and walking through those with confidence and trust. You start to see the pattern. The times you didn't get what you wanted and something better showed up. The relationships that ended and made space for the right one. The failures that hurt, but taught you exactly what you needed to know. And you realize the universe has always been guiding you, even when it felt like rejection, even when it felt like failure, even when it felt like nothing was working. It was working, just not in the way you thought it would, not in the way you demanded it should. It was working in the way that serves your highest good, your truest path, your deepest alignment. So here's my invitation to you. The next time you face a no, don't collapse into it. Don't take it personally. Don't see it as the end. Instead, pause, breathe, and ask, what is this redirecting me toward? What door is closing so another can open? What is the universe trying to show me? And then listen, really listen. Not with your mind, but with your heart, with your intuition, with your soul. Because the universe is always speaking, always guiding, always redirecting you toward what's truly meant for you. The question is, are you listening? If this video resonated with you, if something inside you shifted, if you recognized a no in your life that might actually be guidance, leave a comment with the word redirected. Let that be your declaration, your acknowledgement, your signal to the universe that you're ready to trust the process, ready to see rejection as redirection, ready to walk through the doors that are opening instead of forcing the ones that are closed. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being open. The universe led you to this message for a reason. I'll see you in the next video.